President Muhammadu Buhari has accused the National Assembly of introducing 6,403 new projects of their own, amounting to about 578 billion naira into the 2018 budget. President Buhari stated this while signing the 2018 appropriation bill into law at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, said most of the new projects introduced have not been properly conceptualized, thereby making its implementation difficult.
It is in this regard that I am concerned about some of the changes that the National Assembly has made to the budget proposals that I presented. The logic behind the constitutional direction that budgets should be proposed by the executive is that it is the executive that knows and defines the policies and projects. Unfortunately, that has not been given much regard in what has been sent to me. The National Assembly made cuts amounting to 347 billion naira in the allocation to 4,700 projects submitted to them for consideration and introduced 6,403 projects of their own amounting to 578 billion naira. Many of the projects cut are critical and may be difficult, if not impossible, to implement with the reduced allocation. Some of the new projects inserted by the National Assembly have not been properly conceptualized, designed, and costed, and will therefore be difficult to execute. Furthermore, many of these new projects introduced by the National Assembly have been added to the budgets of most ministries, departments, and agencies with no consideration for institutional capacity to execute them or the incremental recurrent expenditure that may be required. As it is, some of these projects relate to matters that are the responsibility of the states and local governments, and for which the federal government should therefore not be unduly burdened.
The president also raised concerns on the National Assembly budget, which increased from 14.5 billion naira to 125 billion naira at a time the country is trying to spend less on recurrent expenditure. In a swift reaction, Deputy Senate Majority Leader Senator Bala Naala and the Chief Whip of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ado Dogua, said the legislators acted in the interest of their constituents.
The job of parliamentarians is a very difficult one. The way the budget came, if we have allowed it to go that way, we will have been in trouble with those who elected us into office. You have to balance between the 6 geopolitical zones. So it's the balancing effort by the National Assembly that led to those observations. And happily enough, he himself has said he's coming with a supplementary appropriation, which will be dealt with as quickly as possible. I assure you about that one. About the issue of delay, the president is right. But at the same time, if you remember, you were here when president had to order some MDS to appear before the National Assembly for the purpose of defending their budget. You see, it's a very delicate issue. If somebody says he wants 500 billion for maintenance of bridges nationwide, and then you expect the National Assembly to say, okay, that budget is approved because it's coming from the executive. We have not done our work. We will be interested in knowing which of the roads are you going to maintain, so that, again, we don't give another allocation in the next budget. Those observations are correct, but in the budgeting process, those things are normal.
I think some of these major concerns Mr. President has raised are very critical, and I'm afraid if I should be in a position to really respond on behalf of the House. But for me, as an individual and as a member of the House of Representatives, I want to believe that the President is at liberty to raise some of these observations he has raised. But the most important thing you have to note is that the budget is at least now signed by the President. The budget is now law of the Federation, and we expect the executive arm of government to now implement the budget to the latter. Should the President now have other concerns to bring about maybe amendments or some supplementary budgets for the National Assembly to consider, I think we will at the same time also be at liberty to look at the President's concerns and look at those things that he wants us to now review And I want to believe the National Assembly is always in a position to work hand in hand with Mr. President. Okay, and based on the processes we face as an institution, certainly you wouldn't expect us to just rubber stamp a budget and just bring it back. We have to do the nitty-gritties of budget considerations. That is, it was not too long, my sister. We don't look at it as too long. Whatever is worth doing should be done very well. And we have done the right thing we think we should do to deliver on the expectation and the mandate bestowed on us by the people of our constituencies. We have no regret about that. We will accept it in good faith, and we will make sure we look at the supplementary and amendments he's trying to forward in good faith and in a manner that will benefit the entirety of Nigerian people.
The 2018 budget, with aggregate expenditure of 9.12 trillion naira, about 22.6% higher than that of 2017, was signed into law after about 7 months. It will be recalled that President Buhari laid the budget proposal before a joint session of the National Assembly on the 7th of November 2017. From the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroga Nefifen for Ben Television.
Reaction continued to trade the position of President Muhammadu Buhari on the delayed passage of 2018 budget and alleged pardon by the National Assembly. Nigerian Senator Buka Haba Ibrahim had defended the Nigerian Parliament, saying that the President is not under any obligation to implement the budget 100%. Senator Buka, representing Yobe, while addressing the Senate Correspondent, says the National Assembly introduction of some projects amounting to 578 billion does not make the President constrained to implementing same.
Every year we talk about 50% performance, 60% implementation, 70% and so on and so forth. I've hardly even had 80%. So what does it really matter if certain things are inserted? Let him take a good look at them. Let him consult the right people at the right time and then decide which ones he really wants to implement. Nobody is going to hang him for not implementing the budget 100%. So I don't see any problem in that.
The 69-year-old three-time senator said despite sharing his presidential ambition to allow President Buhari to have a shot at the presidency, he admits seeing nothing planned to run for the office in the near future.
But because of my respect for President Muhammadu Buhari, we here always respect our elders. And I couldn't have claimed that I have done more than Muhammad Buhari. So I withdrew along with Senator Iyerima of Zamfara State and left the field open to President by then General Muhammadu Buhari. And now that he has intended to go back for the second term, I'm still ready to wait. If by the time he finishes, I don't feel good health-wise, I may just quietly go back to my Senate and stay.
Senator Buka Abba Ibrahim is scheduled to launch his autobiography next month.
Senator Udoma, the Minister for Budget and National Planning, has pledged to ensure a proper implementation of the 2018 budget. The minister, who said this at the public presentation of the budget in Abuja, said the 2018 budget is designed to consolidate on the 2016 budget of change and 2017 budget of recovery and growth. A breakdown of the revenue projection for 2018 budget shows that the federal government's total revenue in 2018 is projected at 7.17 trillion naira, exceeding the fiscal year of 2017 projection by 30.26%. Oil revenue projection is 41.7%, while 7.2% of projected revenue is expected from recoveries of looted, as well as misappropriated funds and fined.
Where is the money coming from to fund the budget? We're expecting 41.7% of revenues to come from oil, customs 4.5%, companies income tax 9.2%, VAT 2.9%, recoveries 7.2%, tax amnesty 1.2%, and so on and so forth. I'd like to mention grants and donor funding. We now bring in grants and donor funding on two sides so that we can track and capture it. So we bring it in on the revenue side, we bring it in the same amount on the expenditure side, so that we're able to track grants and donor funding.
Senator Udoma said some key reform initiatives contained in the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan into the 2018 budget, that is, new technology to improve revenue collection, tighter performance management framework for state-owned enterprises, and stronger enforcement action against tax defaulters.
When you look at the combined spend, MDA by MDA, and that shows the overall focus of the government. Ministry of Power, Works and Housing has the highest combined expenditure, followed by the Ministry of Interior with 577 billion, Ministry of Defense, 576 billion, Ministry of Education, 542 billion, Ministry of Health, 356 billion. So this actually shows when people say, what is the focus of this government? You can see infrastructure, you can see security, and you can see human development. Those are the three things where most of our money is going. Infrastructure, security, and human development. And this captures that. So those are the things that this government is focusing on.
9.1 trillion naira budget was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday. The event was witnessed by the Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, Minister of State for Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed, the Head of Service of the Federation Winifred Oyoita, as well as the Accountant General of the Federation and the Director General Budget Office. Osam Raffle, Ben Television.
Department of State Service has arrested former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Susan, over security issue in the state. The former governor was arrested after the incumbent governor Samuel Otom allegedly petitioned the DSS over the security situation in the state. DSS had arrested the former governor in 2017 after he said it uncovered a large crate of arms and ammunition from the property allegedly belonging to him in Abuja. According to a statement by the DSS spokesman, Tony Opuyo, last year, the DSS had been informed that some incriminating items were stashed in the boot of the cars parked at the property.
The Governing Council of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, has dismissed Professor Richard Akindele, who was accused of sex for marks. The Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Eyitope Ogunbodede, made this known in a statement he signed on Wednesday. Report has it that the Vice-Chancellor of the University had, on April 19th, confirmed the suspension of Akindele pending the findings of the investigative panel. A student of the university, Monica Osage, had released a recorded telephone conversation which went viral, in which the lecturer, identified as Akindele, demanded sex to enhance her marks. The Vice-Chancellor said the Senate recommended that Akindele, having been found liable on all allegations against him, should be dismissed from the service of the university. He said in order to create a conducive environment for teaching and learning, the university was creating more awareness and disseminating information on what constitutes sexual harassment within the university. The Vice-Chancellor noted that the university has zero tolerance for sexual harassment, and as a renowned university, we do everything humanly possible to maintain the rules and regulations of the university.
Fifteen people were injured when two female suicide bombers targeted the edge of the military barrack in northeast Nigeria, police said on Thursday. Soldiers shot dead one woman as she tried to get into the informal market at the base of Territorial Artillery Nigerian Army in Maiduguri on Wednesday evening. Borno State Police spokesman Edet Okon said the woman explosive detonated when she was shot. The second bomber blew herself up in a nearby motorized rickshaw, he added. Emergency services in the state said there are no further information on the blast, which came just a day after 9 soldiers were killed in Boko Haram attack in the north of Maiduguri. The market on the fringes of the military barrack typically serves basic needs to soldiers, including food, alcohol, and often frequented by troops as well as civilians. Police said the blast happened about 8:20 p.m. Suicide bombers, many of them women and young girls, are previously targeted security checkpoints as well as markets, mosques, and camps for those displaced by the insurgency.